to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The gang is all here for a few minutes. Brian is back off of load restriction. However, now he is on a minutes restriction. So he's only going to be here for a few minutes. But welcome back. How was your cruise? It wasn't as cool as the one I went on or the cruise that me and Kevin are going on next January.
Much more family friendly, you could say, compared to the Jericho cruise. Although I did try to give you an homage by wearing a similar head to toe of the shorts and shirt combo, right?
$19 Amazon, fighting my style. But I appreciate that.
I know it was a nod to you. I said he wore this on a cruise. This seems like a great thing. I actually got a compliment from a random stranger. That never happens with my clothes. I mean, are you kidding me? So we were off to a great start. No Satnam Singh wearing the same outfit on that.
But did you and Mickey have the same outfit on at any point during the cruise, or maybe Donald not wearing any pants?
No. Well, yes on no pants. Yes.
Okay.
But that's neither. That's
and now you're and now you're no longer allowed on Disney cruises. So.
I'm no longer invited back. We've put our deposit down for another one that apparently I won't be going on, but we'll see what happens.
So you are here on a minutes restriction because you've watched no wrestling this week.
Yes.
Kevin and Joe are here. So real quick, we're going to give you something you have to watch. And then this weekend, make sure to follow our socials at That WrestlePod for Brian's reactions to the things we told him to go watch. So Kevin, you can go first. What should Brian watch from this week?
If you watch anything, I feel like you need to watch a little SmackDown from last Friday to pump up you to this Friday.
Right.
Just watch the interaction between Cody and Roman. It sets up some additional stuff for some Raw, and just the back and forth was great. It was fantastic.
Joe?
Cena's return.
Oh, okay. On Monday night.
Yep.
And for me, the pay-per-view. I'm not sure how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Buy the replay. Do what you need to do. It was a pay-per-view that was 4.5 hours, but didn't feel that way. Mm-hmm. The matches all made sense. There was not as much filler in between the matches. It was very well put together, timed out, and that's what you need to watch. And those are the three things you need to watch. Now get the fuck off our show.
Fair enough. I have your reaction pod ready to go to as well. So I'll compare and contrast when I get to it. Gentlemen, thank you for the homework.
That's how you're saying bye to Brian. Bye,
Alicia.
Bye bye bitch was last week. This week we're here to light the beam.
Oh, that you're talking my language. Yeah, but nevertheless, guys, hey, enjoy wrestling.
And the real reason Brian's out is because the Kings are on national TV in a few minutes. So I know what's going on here.
I gotta go. Yes, but no, enjoy wrestling. I look forward to a full minutes restriction, all clear next week. Keep holding down the fort, guys. We'll talk to you.
Get out of here. The fuck out. All right, now.
Thanks for listening to That Wrestling Podcast.
No. Just because he's leaving doesn't mean the show's over. The show goes on without Brian, believe me. So last week, we talked about the lack of Hall of Fame mentions, nominees, inductees. But this week on TV, Wrestlemania is starting to take shape. And prior to this past Monday on Raw, we had Cody and Roman, Bianca and Asuka, Charlotte and Rhea, Brock and Omos. And then we have tonight on SmackDown, if you're listening on Friday, Gunther versus the winner of a 5-way, Kofi, Drew, LA Knight, Karrion Kross, and Sheamus on SmackDown. But on Monday Night Raw this week, we got 3 big matches, starting with John Cena's return to the WWE, to Monday Night Raw, in a segment with Austin Theory. Now, I want to say that I kind of agree with the online sentiment that John Cena came off as a bully, which is kind of weird because, it's John and he's happy-go-lucky. But I feel like Theory went off script when he mentioned the bald spot, because that's when that's when shit went sideways. And I don't know if that wasn't supposed to happen, or maybe in the back they said, hey, I'm going to say that I'm going to go this way, you go this way, and then we'll end up here. I don't know what you guys thought. Joe, we'll start with you. I mean, what did you think of the promo? And do you think maybe things just went a little off script?
No, I think that was totally planned.
Really?
I think the ball spot was, he was very quick with the response, and he had a follow-up to it about 2 minutes later. I think everything went as planned, and I think that it reminded me a lot of Cena versus Roman the first time they had their promo battle when Roman was still the white hot baby face. Well, they tried to make him, and he was talking about burying talent, and then Cena just went off on him. Theory did the same thing with the "I'm giving you a gift," and Cena. This is make or break for Austin Theory now. I actually agree with John Cena with the whether you win or lose, you still lose. Not exactly. This is going to be the moment where he steps out of the ruthless aggression era, Austin Theory, and goes into a fan, someone that they can get behind. Win or lose, he will.
So you're saying the Monday after WrestleMania, Theory is going to come out in like a Kobe throwback and start freestyling in the ring? Because you just said he's going past ruthless aggression. And that's
for Austin
what
Theory.
Cena did.
Yeah, he's gonna come out with Bull Buchanan. He's gonna call him B squared. And
gotcha.
The crowd will probably like just be white hot for him, and he'll actually be ready to embrace it.
All right, Kevin, you're up. What'd you think of the promo?
I agree with Joe. I think it was definitely planned. It fit in with Austin Theory because he's a younger guy. He's going to make those like kind of immature type, low hanging fruit comments. I say, I loved it. John Cena did come off kind of not burying at times, but he's just amazing on the mic, and it was fantastic to see. The one thing with John, I used to hate the dude.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
But the flip of the switch was that U.S. title or the open challenge. It truly, and it made he develop into a wrestler. Austin Theory, he was on the roster during the COVID time, and then he left, came back, different guy. I think John's the guy to push him to the next level.
Very cool.
I'm so pumped to see that match.
I mean, Austin Theory has had 3 different personalities since the Thunderdome era.
He was with Selena Vega. He was with Seth Rollins. He was with Johnny Gargano, and now he was with Vince McMahon. So technically, that's 4. But overall, I'm glad that we're getting it. And another match that we got that I wasn't sure I was excited for is Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. That in-ring promo sold me. That talked me into being excited for this match. So yes, I know. I see that look, Joe. I'm on the Logan Paul train, have been since day one.
Choo-choo.
This was something I wasn't really sure how to take it. And now I'm thinking that this match could headline night 1.
I agree.
Kevin, thoughts?
I think the punch looked so good that Logan got on Seth, and then Seth just fell, and the camera was on Seth for the longest time. Right. And Seth didn't move. Didn't look like he was breathing. Like just the whole thing in the interaction in that ring. And when the crowd's like, fuck you, Logan. And Seth's like, well, they know who you are. Like just, they both play to the crowd. Amazing. The segment was fantastic. Logan, love or hate him, he's going to come out. I feel that I would hate it to be second from last. I don't think it will be a headliner. I think it's going to be, quite honestly, it could be minus Cody and Roman. I hope it's not on that show because I want it to be the best overall match of the night, not being overpowered by Cody winning.
So you're thinking it's going to be a night 1 match.
I do.
I realistically think this could open night 1. And it would be amazing.
And just right off the bat.
Because both guys don't need darkness for their intro. Now it's going to be 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon out here for the start of WrestleMania. So it's not like it's a Bray Wyatt thing or an Undertaker thing where the light ruins it. And I think it will deliver. You know, we've talked about you're either first or you're last. And while it could go for me, I'm hoping it's last night one, but I think more realistically, it could be first. Joe, what do you think of the Logan Paul, Seth Rollins segment from Monday?
I know a couple weeks back I said that Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley has to headline night one. I disagree now. I think that this has to be the main event of night one. It's the star power match of night one. It's probably the second biggest star power match because Seth Rollins is. I'm sorry, Sammy's kind of like, he's gone down on him since Elimination Chamber.
Whoa.
Seth Rollins.
How do you know that? How do you know Sammy went down on Seth? I mean, geez.
No, I said like the heat has gone down with how white.
I didn't hear.
That's not. You didn't say heat.
That. No, I said the heat has gone down on Sammy since then. And
went down on him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Seth Rollins has been like the hottest act in the WWE for the past couple months, and Logan Paul's the biggest star that they got, so that has to be night one. It's Cody and Roman main event, obviously, but this one I'm looking forward to, and I think it will be the match of the night.
And we also got, last week we talked about maybe it's a tag team and a singles, but we got a 6-woman match: Lita, Trish, Becky versus Damage Control. It is what it is. I'm not overly excited, but I'm not underwhelmed either. I don't know how much time you guys want to spend on this, but we're getting a 6-woman match. So that is now 1, 2, 3 women's matches. We could have had 4. Thoughts on the 6-man instead of the tag and singles, Kevin?
It's kind of I don't know. I feel like I would have preferred Bayley having a solo against Trish and throw the titles in there just so the titles are up for grabs. I feel like that could 5 years ago, I probably would have been like, hell yeah, we're seeing Trish again. Hell yeah, we're seeing Lita again. In 2023 at WrestleMania 39, I'm like, this quite honestly could be the worst match of the whole 2 days. Like
not with Omos and Brock on the card.
Well, like I feel like that one.
That one's a weird. That's a weird one because
just to see the F5 on Omos,
and Brock is saying that his time's almost up. He may want to go back to the farm and Sable. Let him put over Omos on the way out. Make a star out of him. I mean, this could be the sleeper match where everyone goes to get their beers and they get to go to the bathroom. They think this is the one. I think I'm going to sit through this one. I don't want to miss this. But
it could be Kane versus Great Khali at WrestleMania 23.
So Jason's wearing an adult diaper because he's not going to want to miss any matches live.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple that I would be all right with, including matches that aren't confirmed yet.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and Edge and Bray Wyatt versus Lashley. I don't really understand the Bray Wyatt thing since he's been back. I've been very vocal about that. I don't get it. Maybe I'm not smart. Possibly that is that's all me. But these 2 matches not confirmed yet. Next week we're going to get Edge and Finn face to face, and who knows what's going to happen tonight on SmackDown if you're listening on Friday between Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley. Now there are a lot of people on this roster that have nothing to do with WrestleMania yet. Kevin, is there anyone else on the roster that's Mania worthy? Who are they, and what match do you want to see?
Man, this is the thing. There are so many Street Profits. Do they deserve a spot? Absolutely. Montez Ford was just in the Elimination Chamber, right? You want a filler match? Or not? I said filler match. Terrible way to say it. Give me Damian Priest in there. Give me Montez. Give me Dawkins even. Give me Chad Gable. There's so many guys to the non-main event status that I don't want to just be thrown into a battle royal. Like, these guys deserve that spot. And that's why I would absolutely love, and it will never happen because it's its own pay-per-view. That's the one thing that I missed with Mania was that ladder match, because
the Money in the Bank,
the Money in the Bank ladder match, like, it's for those guys who are so close, but not the main event. and you're not going to get a big singles match. I don't know. I wish something with Dawkins or Montez single or with Street Profits. Throw it a Gable and Otis, and then Otis officially leaving and not teasing anymore. I don't know. I just feel that there's so many missed opportunities. Gunther, of course, that will get figured out in SmackDown. But
Joe, what do you think? What do you got? Anything? Anybody?
People who don't have a clear path so far. Liv Morgan, she definitely deserves to be on WrestleMania. I'm gonna have to say I'd love to see something with Carmella and Chelsea being involved in something, because those two are entertaining me big time. So I'm going with the women first, and then for the men's side, Strowman, Ricochet.
oh shit!
And I'm
God,
not worried. I am not worried about the Intercontinental Championship, because I'm guessing that on SmackDown tonight, it's going to go no contest, and we're going to get like a 6-way ladder match for the IC belt with everybody who's in that match.
That's interesting.
So Sheamus, McIntyre, LA Knight, yeah, and then who else is in there? We got Karrion Kross,
Drew Cross, Sheamus,
and we still haven't even mentioned the fact that we could Kofi got injured.
Well,
Kofi got injured. Kofi apparently got injured last week, and now it's like Woods is on his own, which is interesting.
Maybe
but we
Woods
still haven't
takes Kofi's spot.
We still haven't even mentioned the fact that there's still like the setup of Dominic versus Ray.
Oh, shoot, good call.
So
and
yeah,
a lot of people were thinking that it's going to be Sammy and Kevin against the Usos. I got a little bit of a different idea. Let me know what you guys think. The next question on the rundown was, do we need more legends? Well, what if we get the Usos and Solo against Sammy, Kevin, and a returning legend? Now, the two top ones, of course, are Steve Austin and The Rock. What do you guys think of putting a legend in the 6-way, which, if that happens, I truly think Cody does not win. The Usos don't lose the titles, and this storyline moves on. Kevin?
If that did happen, okay, that would work if The Rock was part of it. I would prefer to see Steve Austin, just because last year KO and Steve, right?
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, that's good. I didn't even think about it.
That would be a lot of fun. And I know it sounds really bad. I don't think The Rock would return for a 6-man.
If he's not in full ring shape, which is the excuse
that is
going around, he wouldn't have to do as much.
That is true. I think for the Extreme Pop, that glass shatter, if it's them two and a Solo, exactly. Solo is another guy, deserves a spot somewhere. Like, truly deserves a spot. If it's them two,
he's going to be on the card no matter what, though.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah, he'll be there.
I don't want to see the tag belts held hostage in another 6-way or a 6-man tag like the women's. But give me that night, one night, and then the real tag the other night. I would take that.
No, I think Kevin, when Jason was bringing up the legends, so first I'm like, we don't really need legends for this one, but if you did have one, the one that makes the most sense would be Stone Cold Steve Austin, because of Kevin Owens and Austin's WrestleMania last year, so they have that. Austin's don't trust anybody, and who was Austin's first guest on Broken Skull after WrestleMania last year? Sami Zayn. I don't
remember.
Sami Zayn.
Was it?
It was Sami Zayn. So there was like basically Austin could be with the two hottest acts of last year's WrestleMania, according to Austin and a lot of other people. So that's the only one that makes sense, but I'd prefer not have it not be a 3-way. I'd really like the tag championships to be split up, because we talked about all these tag teams that are out there, but if only one team has a championship and they're feuding against a non-tag team, then those tag teams are in purgatory right now.
Okay, so on that end, why don't we do a tag team turmoil match with multiple teams? So you'd have the Usos against the Street Profits, against Otis and Gable, against Ricochet and Strowman, against the New Day with a returning Big E and Xavier Woods, the
Imperium,
Viking Raiders, Imperium. I mean, a gauntlet match, but You know, at this
you could
point,
even do Damian Priest and Dominic if Dominic's not
if
going to
Dom
face
and
Ray.
Ray don't happen. So yeah, I mean, we've got about 4 weeks left, 3 weeks left until WrestleMania. So who knows what is going to happen? And the Legends thing. Look, we're going to get a Teddy Long dance party. We're going to get a poker game. We're going to get something with the Divas. It's going to happen.
You're going to hear a damn,
of course, brother.
You're going to get JBL versus Corbin, what we've all been waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, don't say
I would be down for that. I'd be down for that.
It's probably going to happen.
So WrestleMania a few weeks away, a couple of months away, it was announced that we're going to get the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments returning May 27th in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Allah in, I believe this will be the 6th one. What's interesting is in the commercials, no reigning king or queen in the commercials. No Zelina Vega, no Xavier Woods. I think this is the ideal place for the one-night tournaments because no storylines are needed. You get all the big names. Now I'm curious to see what big names take part of this. Are we going to get Brock Lesnar in a one-night tournament? Are we going to get Roman Reigns? Are we get, you know what I mean? Like, who is really going to be in this tournament?
Are we going to get Goldberg's retirement match?
Yeah, it'll be Cody and Goldberg for the title. No, maybe Goldberg's in the tournament. Who knows? Are you guys excited for this at all?
I think the venue or the location is perfect. I feel that it will sell out, and it's a like a good theme. I think Logan Paul was there last time. He can easily enter in.
That'd be interesting.
That would
you got any interesting thoughts on these tournaments, Joe, for one night only?
Oh, they're entertaining, but they don't do anything after the King's done. So I think the last time the King of the Ring meant anything was when Brock Lesnar won in 2002, so he could face The Rock.
No, Corbin was a great king.
No, but when they make the King of the Ring mean something, as in like you win this tournament, you're the number one contender at SummerSlam, that makes it worthwhile. But with like Corbin he was a good king, but it's just a matter of like they don't do anything with it. Xavier Woods could have been a good king.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Now, A&E, WWE on A&E, I watched the Rock and Cena rivalry. I didn't watch the China thing yet. Rock and Cena was a little different than I expected. They did put out a DVD, but this one, it was Cena's side of everything and why he did what he did and why he said what he said and what he was trying to accomplish. And he admitted he was wrong. He said all those things to try to get Dwayne back. And, on the DVD, there was a moment after the first one, I believe, where they hugged after. And I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. They actually are friends. They didn't like each other. This one gave me a little more insight on the rivalry. And I enjoy these. We weren't on it again, except for the intro when Brock Lesnar lifted the ring. So that's 3 in a row we've technically been on, even though we haven't been in the episode. Joe, what'd you think of A&E this week?
I don't have A&E, so I did not get to watch it.
Oh,
I don't have A&E. I said it last week. So what I think about it?
Why am I doing this every week then? I don't even know why I'm bringing this up.
Once it's available on the app, which I think
Hulu?
it became. Yes, but it wasn't available yet.
Joe,
no, but seriously, I have YouTube TV. I'm sorry.
Now I know why you haven't paid me for that shirt you're wearing. You can't even afford the A&E in your cable.
Because my cable doesn't offer it. Because my cable sucks.
Kevin,
but they provide my internet.
You didn't watch it either.
I am Joe's tag team jabroni.
Guys, open your mouth. Send me a text. Say, I didn't watch these. Don't talk about it. Don't bring it up. Come on.
Let me ask you this.
I said it last week.
Compared to Taker Mankind, or Andre Hogan, was it more of like the rivalry? Was it more of like the emotions of the because the thing with Cena Rock, 2/3 of the lead up. Of course, the matches were great, but 2/3 of the lead up were them just ribbing on each other. Was it more of, because you mentioned Cena, was The Rock a big part of it as well?
No,
Or
not real stuff. Like you could tell it was all pretty much all stock footage.
Okay.
However, though, getting Cena's side of it was something that was really just I don't know. You never really see that. Cena was great on Total Divas and Total Bellas, but that was the real John Cena. And this one, while it was about the story, it was about the real parts of the story of the shit that he did, thinking it was going to, work. And eventually it did. But yeah, when it was all said and done, he just said, look, I shouldn't have done what I did, but it worked. But next time it's all about being up front and forward. So
how is it different? How is it different from the Rock Cena DVD Once in a Lifetime before it was Twice in a Lifetime? Because I remember watching that when it came out, and it was very they were both honest about it. It was a good DVD, but now it's a matter of we're getting the rivalry, which is like we already seen it. We know that they're okay, but you're saying it was on Cena's thing. Is it because he's grown up?
Possibly. And it felt different, and I was all for it. Now, last week we talked about China and how that's going to play out, but I just haven't gotten to it yet. I have a bit of a life, so, we're not really going to talk a lot about Revolution. You can go back into the archives and listen to my reaction video. I will say, like what I said on that podcast from Tuesday, this could be the turning point for this company. New and fresh is what AEW was supposed to be. And this could be a step in the right direction. Now, Dynamite on Wednesday, Wardlow won the TNT title at the pay-per-view and lost it on Dynamite. This title...
Wait, lost it as in the match or lost?
Yeah.
No, it got stolen.
Technically got stolen, but Hobbs beat him with the help of QT Marshall, which QT Marshall's group, The Factory, have disbanded. And on Dark, they've been doing these QTV setups. And that's what shirt he had on last night or Wednesday night on Dynamite. I don't, the show is on TBS, but the TNT title is on TBS more than the TBS title because that's on TNT. So I don't really understand the logic behind it. But this title, it meant something when Cody and Brody Lee had it. Ever since, just kind of hot potato. And now Orange Cassidy's belt has been renamed the International Championship. And I am so excited because I really want Jeff Jarrett to get that title next week, because if he does, the fucking internet's going to lose their minds. Thoughts on
the title leveled up?
Yeah, it leveled up.
Wait!
I don't even know what that means.
It's a video game reference.
I guess.
But it's leveled up. You're like 6 people got that reference who are wrestling fans. Come on.
Well, I think the TNT title should just be named the television title.
Yes.
It's just easier. If they go away from TNT, they're just whatever. But the big thing from Dynamite, we're getting the House of Black versus the JAS versus the Elite next week for the trios titles. House of Black won the trios titles at the pay-per-view, and this should be their division. They are different than everybody, and I'm excited for this 3-way match next week. Kevin, thoughts on the House of Black winning the titles and this 3-way trios match next Wednesday?
One, I like that the Elite lost. I do. House of Black totally deserve it. Excuse me. It propels them to the next level as well, right? No way they're going to lose. If they lose, I will eat a shoe. I don't have an edible.
And this is recorded, so it's public. This is public domain now.
I'll put it this way. If they lose, I will do a shoey. I will drink a beer out of a shoe.
If they lose, you should shave your head.
There's only one guy who can pull that off in this team, and that would be the Pod Father. I know I am excited though, because like they needed something kind of like with what I said last week, right? Like we were talking about like losing interest. There's some stuff in the pay-per-view because I read the review, like the rundown, like with Ruby and House of Black winning the titles. Like it's exciting stuff. It's got me engaged in the product and shit. That 3-on-3-on-3 match.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a 3-on-3 trios match is a cluster. 3-on-3-on-3 is going to be a mega cluster.
Joe, thoughts?
Be entertaining. House of Black retains. I liked the setup when the Elite came out and Kenny said, "We agreed to stay out of each other's business" to Jericho. So it's like, because they had their history prior to AEW. So I like that interaction, making it seem like, we remember that we beat the crap out of each other for a long time and we said we'd get out of each other's business, but now you're stepping in my business, so the truce is over. And it was gloves off. But yeah, House of Black wins. I don't think that they deserve it. I think that they need it. There's a difference.
Well, that's
like, because they haven't done anything in months, and now they have it. So they're going to use the belt to make the team instead of the team to make the championship. Hopefully both go over.
Very cool. So neither of you watched the pay-per-view. I did. Is there anything you wanted to chat about from the pay-per-view that, you didn't see from the dirts?
Were you surprised when Ruby turned?
I was. Joe surprisingly made a good point last week about the Diamond Dallas Page reference. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But
that's why they didn't do it. Now they're rehashing
true.
the NWO, and her promo on Wednesday was like Hogan's. For 2 years. For 2 years, you booed me. I did it for the kids. And they even called Paige and Tony Storm the outsiders at one point and went, whatever they were called, but they're
calling them the freelancers.
The freelancers, but they call them the outsiders, and it's they're like, why don't you just call them the NWO and just get it over with? New Women Order. Just call them the New Women Order and just get it over with, because you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait.
Or level up and call them something else.
Tony Khan's the leader of the LW, the Women's World Order, the New Women's Order. They go down that route. So I don't know. We did not get the Bellas. They were backstage, but we did not get them. I was kind of bummed. I thought I was onto something there. I don't know who else could join them. Maybe Athena once she's done with her Ring of Honor stuff.
Jade?
No, I think Jade could be the DDP of it all. She's got her little followers. A word came out this week that she was supposed to lose to Chris Statlander, but she got hurt. So that's why this streak has been going on for so long. I think that Jade loses. I don't know. I think they've been making such a big deal, but 53-0 in 3 years means dick.
None.
Like just say she's undefeated. Don't say numbers, because 53 wins in 3 years. I'm no
Orange
math
Cassidy
guy,
has like 21 this year alone.
True. So one final thing, I want to go back to WWE and WrestleMania. Kevin is the degenerate gambler of our team, and I don't understand how pro wrestling can be bet on, other than the Royal Rumble, which we've done for 25 years since we've all known each other. But so, Kevin, there are odds for the matches at WrestleMania. So what I was hoping you would do is go for a couple of them, like the bigger matches.
Yeah.
And kind of explain what it all means, because I don't know anything about gambling. So,
So the easiest way in any sports gambling, and I'm going to do like sports gambling for dummies right now. Always take it as something is $100, right? So if you're betting $100, what are you gonna, so if something is a plus in front of it, that means they're the underdog. You want to be a minus in front of it to be the negative.
Isn't that backwards?
Nope.
Like if you were favored, wouldn't you be the plus?
So here's an example. So Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Okay. Who do you think is going to be favored in that match?
I imagine Cody's going to be favored.
Cody is favored. Per Yahoo related article, by the way. Not like on the main page, but it was a scroll.
Of course not.
So Cody is a minus 550. So that means you have to bet $550 of your money just to make $100. Okay. So it's the opposite of what the plus is. So, Roman Reigns is plus 325. So that means if you bet $100, you win 325 profit. So it's a lot easier. And it's not just 2-to-1 odds, 1-to-2 odds, right? They're all different. So yeah, Cody's heavily favored. Not we'll run down all 7 really fast.
I don't want to do all the matches. Just hit me with like, let me see what we got.
You pick one and I'm going to tell you what the odds are.
Hit me Bianca and Asuka. What are the odds there?
Bianca plus 150. Asuka's favored 200. So you bet $100, you win 50, or you bet 200, you win $100.
Charlotte and Rhea.
This is big odds. Rhea
Really?
Ripley 8-1. So you have to bet $800 to win $100. She's currently minus 800. Charlotte is 425.
Rhea's
heavily favored. Wow. As of right now, minus the 6 women tag match, Becky, Lita, and Trish are massively favored. The only one that is currently favored heavily is the Brock versus Omos match.
What's that odds?
You have to bet $1,800 on Brock to win 100.
So that means he's the favorite?
Yes. He's the favorite.
So what happened with Omos? So what about Omos? What's his odds?
Plus 600.
So if I bet 100 on Omos, you win 600.
Yeah. So right now, and Logan Paul, actually the closest one right now, same with Asuka Bianca, is Logan Paul Seth. Very close. It's almost money, like straight 1-to-1. Logan Paul is minus 2.
What does that mean?
Barely.
Wait. Straight money. What
1-to-1? If they're both like plus 100, that means it's like right down the middle. Like it could go either way.
Can both people be a plus?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then who's the favorite? Or
like,
who's the underdog?
Say if it's a like right down, like say if the Super Bowl was like between like a half a point, somebody might be
I don't even
plus
know how
105.
Possible. You can't do a 2.5 point conversion. Like I don't get that either. But
no, because if they win by 2, that half point is the tiebreaker.
It's huge.
I don't get it.
But Seth is.
I thought that was pretty clear.
Seth's pretty close to money compared to Logan, but Logan's currently favored right now.
So being the degenerate gambler that you are you going to bet on WrestleMania?
No.
More than what we bet when we bet T-shirts?
The thing is, I would hate to see, because everything's money. Everything. I would hate to see somebody, Vince done some shady stuff in the past, right?
No.
And he can see, who knows, with these betting websites, you always can see stuff moving. Why can't employees bet? Why can't Vince
why
bet?
Can't the creative team
That's
tell
what I mean.
Tell their brother, say, hey,
exactly.
Bet this, and this. Like that's the stuff I don't understand.
Or Hall of Famer Pete Rose. Why can't he bet?
It's weird. I like the idea of the odds. I think the odds are cool, but if they come out, there's always
bet on a predetermined event.
Yeah,
it's too shady. No,
I've done the FanDuel fun things in the past where you pick like, you know what I mean, who and your confidence points and whatnot.
Fuck confidence points. I hated that year. I hated the year we did confidence points. Fuck that shit. No thanks. Okay, so
this year we're doing confidence points.
Fuck that. Not doing confidence points ever again. Okay, so I mean that makes a little more sense. Maybe when it gets closer to Mania, like the week of, we can revisit these odds just to see if anything's changed. You know, maybe we do a group bet we pool our money and do the biggest underdog, just to see, like, even if it's like $25 a piece. I mean, I think it could be fun. What else is fun? Brian not being here. So, no, I'm not going to trash talk Brian anymore. We'll see his video this weekend on social media at that WrestlePod to see his reactions to the things we told him to watch. Now, I will not be here next week. I am visiting the very scenic Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, going home for a couple days. So I will be back in 2 weeks. The boys will be back next week. Don't forget, at that WrestlePod, at that Wrestling Podcast on YouTube, we're chasing 4,000. Little closer each day, but definitely need we need about 300 subscribers before WrestleMania. So if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're just listening, go over to YouTube at that Wrestling Podcast. And you can always reach out to us on Gmail, thatwrestlepod@gmail.com. For Kevin, for Joe, I'm Jason. We're not worried about Brian. Enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. 1, 2, 3, that's it! Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That WrestlePod on social media.